What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Dark Knight's Death Metal Batman. And so here we have Death Metal Batman posed and out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figure, let's actually take a look at his accessories. Death Metal Batman does come with his shredding Plastic Man guitar, which looks really nice. I love the detailing on it. He also comes with the legs of the Darkfather Build-A-Figure, which we'll have a better look at when he's all put together. And then finally, we do get the McFarlane display stand. Other than that, Death Metal Batman here doesn't come with any other accessories, so let's actually take a closer look at his details. And so here we have a closer look at Death Metal Batman. Now, I'm not going to go too far into details on this figure, because essentially this is the exact same Death Metal Batman that we got previously in the single card release, but that Batman came with a scythe. This one comes with a Plastic Man guitar and the the Darkfather Build-A-Figure pieces. So all the detailing on this particular figure are the exact same as that previous release, and it's not a bad figure at all. This is actually one of the better McFarlane head sculpts that we've seen in recent days. So yeah, really do love this Batman head. It still has that strange slope angle that we've been seeing on all of McFarlane's Batman figures, and then we do have that really nice nose that I really do appreciate how nice that sculpt is. On mine you can see he kind of had, well, I thought that was a piece of paint, but no, it was just a white flake from somewhere. But yeah, really love this cowl. It's a really nice design. You see how the angles look really good, and then it's really smooth. There's some texturing in it, so overall really exceptional sculpt work, especially here in the mouth. The mouth has some really nice face work. It's honestly one of McFarlane's best sculpts that we've seen for a Batman figure. So having a look at the jacket, it's the same jacket that we saw with the single-carded Batman. We still have the studs painted. They could be painted a little bit better. I'm pretty sure the only difference between this one and that one are that the paint applications will be different, but those will always vary figure from figure. Still has that amazing worn leather detailing that we have, more studs right here. He, of course, has the studded belts going across his biceps and this really nice textured jacket. You can see it's not the same texture, so it's more than likely he's wearing a second jacket underneath this really big, bulky jacket. The gauntlets are another thing that I really love about this figure. Just look at that. It's so nicely detailed. Although I think they did go back and retool the gauntlets, because these do feel like they are of a softer plastic now. That's not retooling in sculpt, that's just changing the material. Because yeah, these ones seem really flimsy, where the previous Death Metal Batman had a little more rigidness to the gauntlets. It's not at all bad, it's just something to point out, is that these might be a little bit softer. We'll have a look at his hand, which I think they did retool his hand so that it's more of a C grip, so that he grips the guitar better. The original Batman had your standard circle grip right here where he could hold the scythe. Although this one might be a pinch closed, just so it looks like he's holding a guitar pick. This one is more of a C grip, just so he grabs the neck of the guitar a little bit better. And of course we do have his Black Lantern ring, which there is some slight detailing on it. I don't know if you can see it, but we do have the Black Lantern insignia on there. Something that I thought wasn't on there originally, but it was pointed out to me that yes, he does have the Black Lantern insignia on his ring. So really nice job there. Buckles are done exceptionally well. The paint is still solid. We do have the belts right here, looking really good. I do like that, and it would be nice that if at some point we get a Mezco version of this figure, because I think that would look amazing. But anyway, looking at his belt, that same skull belt with the chains looks really good, going all the way around. We still have some chains on the back. No utility belt, it's just a belt with skulls and chains. And then we have the bat insignia here. Really like the bat insignia right up here. It's a very nice bat emblem. And then I love the detailing on his suit. The suit has some really good detail. We do have the asymmetrical sculpting right here on his thigh guards, which this is actually a point of rotation, so I do like that. It's not the same. We do have I think it's a left that's just a little bit higher than the right. But yeah, it's not the same sculpt, but it does look good. We still have those bat knee pads, which always look great. Then we have these really gnarly boots with the belts and the studs and the wings coming off the side. Ooh, these look so nice. And for a Batman that claims to listen to death metal, yeah, this Batman does look the part. Now, just like with the original figure, lack of paint apps on the back, so that is a little bit unfortunate. I'm pretty sure they thought the jacket's going to cover all that up, so you don't need it painted. But no, there is some area where there's no paint on the figure, which is unfortunate to say the least. And then we go on his boots, and those still have that nice worn leather look to them. Really do like the detailing on this figure overall, so really can't complain. It was a solid figure in its first release, and it's still a solid figure in its second release. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually take a closer look of Death Metal Batman compared to other figures you may have in your collection. And so here we have Death Metal Batman posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have Death Metal Batman posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. Here we have Batman posed next to a Lightning Collection White Ranger and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. Here we have the Death Metal Batman posed next to the McFarlane Death Metal Wonder Woman and Death Metal Superman. And finally, here we have the McFarlane Death Metal Batman posed next to the single-carded Death Metal Batman with the Death Metal Batcycle. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually have a closer look at Batman's articulation. He does have a double ball joint in the head, which does allow him to look up about that far. He can look down about that far. We do get some really nice head tilt on this figure, and I really do like that double ball joint. It does provide so much movement. Turns left and right, no problem, although it does get a little bit hindered looking to the side because of his jacket. Arms, again, they are on ball joints that pivot forward and back, up and down. Then we go about that far forward before the jacket starts tightening up, and it prevents it from going all the way around. As you can see, if you do go all the way around, it goes off at a little bit of an angle. He of course does have a bicep swivel and goes out to about that far. We do have a double bend at the elbow. Really nice bend, I do like that. We have a swivel hinge here at the wrist, so he does go up and down, moves forward and back, as well as rotates on that pin. He does have a ball joint here at the torso, but he only crunches forward about that far, crunches back, better than you would expect. He goes back about that far. And we do have some slight tilt and rotation right here. He also does have a second ball joint, which lets him crunch forward a little bit more, but he does crunch much better going back, but the jacket does hinder that a little bit, so that is a little bit unfortunate. And then that should rotate, but it's really stiff on mine, and pivots side to side, yes. The only thing is, it doesn't want to rotate. It's stuck on mine. I have to heat that up. But yeah, he does go forward at the legs, goes back, goes out. We do have a thigh swivel at that cut, but it is cut at an angle, so I honestly don't know how useful that would be. If you can find use for it, you find use for it. If not, that's just the way it's angled. We have a double bend at the knee. Although it's not the best double bend, it only goes to about right there. It's 90 degrees, which is something, I guess. Then we do have a ball hinge at the ankle, which does have a hinge that goes up and down. We can rotate on that ball joint. Then we have a forward-facing pin for rocker ankle. And if you rotate that joint, we can get what I call a true rocker ankle, so I really do like that. And then, of course, we do have a very generous toe hinge. So overall, Batman here has some pretty good articulation, and you want to be careful because sometimes you might snag the plastic onto the rubber crotch piece, which it's not the end of the world. I can fix that with a little bit of heat, but yeah, just be careful with that piece. So overall, pretty decent articulation on Batman here. So what we're going to do now is get him posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the McFarlane Death Metal Batman pose for my final thoughts. Overall, I really enjoy this figure. Probably not as much as the first time I reviewed it, but that's not saying that this is a bad figure. This is still a really gnarly figure, and I love the detailing on him. The jacket looks phenomenal on this figure. This is actually one of McFarlane's better, if not the best Batman head sculpt that he has given us, and I really do like the way he looks overall. If you were unable to get the original death metal Batman, which came with the scythe, this is a really good alternative to that figure because they're virtually the same thing with the exception of their accessories. This one does come with the Plastic Man guitar, which I'm just going to be honest, looks amazing. This is a really nice guitar. Could use a little bit of coloring, but we'll talk about that later. And the other one comes with a scythe. This Batman and that one are the exact same figure, so if the accessories don't bother you too much, you can get either one and still be happy. Now, if you are keen on a certain accessory, depends on which one you want. This one comes with a guitar, the other one comes with a scythe. Overall, I'm really happy with this figure, and it looks great for any Batman collector. If you are looking for the death metal Batman with the Darkfather Build-A-Figure pieces, they are starting to hit stores at the time I'm making this video, and they will run you about $25. That is a pretty hefty pricing, is how the standard release is $20, which I was lucky enough to pick up my Batman for $19.99. I actually found it on the Target website and got it for $19.99. Thankfully, they did ship it to me instead of canceling my order. Target is notorious for that. This Batman I really do recommend. If you're a fan of the death metal series, want a really gnarly Batman in your collection, just want a really nice centerpiece that people can talk about, this is the Batman for you. He looks awesome, and getting him posed in a really nice guitar playing position makes him look that much better. So with that being said, guys, I'm King of Dragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and check out all my other action figure reviews as well as all my other DC Multiverse videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you'd like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it fits in my collection, I'll gladly have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.